My mom had an affair with my brother's wife. Yes, you read that right. This is 100% a true story that I've been wanting to get off my chest for a while. So my brother, 25 male, meets his wife, 25 female, in his last year of school. The two of them got engaged very soon after meeting, only about 4 to 5 months after. During this time that they were engaged, they would spend a lot of time together, but they were never allowed to be completely alone together until they were married. So this meant that she spent a lot of time at my house with either me, my sister, or my mom, who would stay with them. So we all got pretty comfortable around each other, and this is where it started to get weird. My mom, 44, would be a little too friendly with my sister-in-law. For example, if we were watching a movie, they would sit next to each other, then that turned into leaning onto one another and then a full-on cuddle. Another example is that they would be on FaceTime literally 24/7. I'm talking about waking up and falling asleep on the phone together. It got so bad that my brother would complain that he never could call her because she was always busy talking to my mom. Eventually, me and my sister called my mom out on this, saying it was a little weird that she was always on the phone with her. Of course, she was very angry we called her out on this, but she said they are just really close and that she would stop calling her so much, but that never happened. She just started to hide it, and they would spend hours on FaceTime without even saying a word. They would just have their AirPods in and listen to each other's background noises and text each other when they wanted to say something. And this went on for the entire engagement. My sister and I would joke about the two of them being gay lovers, but we were always joking because we never would have thought it would get that far. So let's fast forward. After a couple of months of their weird behavior, I come home from work and my mom, my sister, and sister-in-law are there. I take a seat on the couch next to my sister and she sends me a text. Go look what's on your mom's bed. Don't make it obvious. So I get up and start walking to my room and peek in very quickly. When I passed my mom's room at first, I didn't see anything. So I took another quick look and that's when I saw a strap-on sitting on the corner of my mom's bed. Me and my sister were in complete shock. We both know that they were the only two home all day and they were completely alone. Me and my sister go back and forth on what we should do, and we decided that 2 days later we'll tell our brother what we found. He was quick to believe us because he also saw all the red flags. He called his wife and told her he knows what she did and that he wanted a divorce. She immediately called my mom screaming and crying. I could hear my mom's phone from my room right before my mom ran out of the house to her car. I don't know what happened after that. I just know my mom came home a couple of hours later, was acting like nothing happened, and that things were normal for me and my sister for a while. Eventually, my sister told her friend that my brother was going to leave his wife. He said something along the lines of, "Really? Now I can finally ask you why you have naked videos of her on her... Really? Now I can finally ask you why you have naked videos of her on your laptop." What? It turns out that my sister asked him for help with one of her college assignments when he opened the notes app on the laptop and saw a nude video of my sister-in-law. So he closed the tab and pretended like he didn't see anything. But here's the thing. My sister was using my mom's old laptop to do her homework, but my mom's Apple ID was still connected. So all of the notes from my mom's phone were sent to the laptop notes. So my sister had me pick her up from work early and we raced home to check the laptop, and there it was. Over a dozen pictures and videos of sister-in-law doing extremely inappropriate stuff and literally thousands of SS text message conversations, most of which were nothing, but just one that I can remember is, "I wish I could have met you first. I love you more than I love brother's name." So we sent all of this evidence to my brother and he showed it to his wife and she admitted to everything.
Story time on the craziest girl at my high school. And I don't mean fun crazy. I know you guys have been waiting for the story times and I'm finally all done with high school. So I'm gonna start doing like one really good one a week. I'm only gonna tell these stories from my personal experience. I don't want to spread like any false information, any false rumors. So if I don't know, I won't be sharing the information. But what I do know is that this girl came to our high school. I forget which year, but she came to our high school. She was all the rave. She was super pretty. She seemed to be super nice. I think I know why she came to our school, but I'm not for sure, so I'm not gonna say it. I never really had a big run-in with her until my best friend at the time started dating her ex. I always have heard things because she went through a lot of friend groups and there was just always some kind of drama attached to that, you know? So anyway, my best friend starts dating her ex. They broke up. She said she didn't cheat. He said she did. She said, I don't know what's true, but basically he meets my best friend, and when I tell you, these two together are the perfect couple. I can't even explain. Like, they're so in love. They're gonna get married. If they don't, I don't believe in love. This girl also gets a boyfriend around the same time. They're both moved on. Great. No, not great, because she's not. She keeps finding ways to text her ex, which is now my best friend's boyfriend. So, you know, it's unsettling. They're a happy couple. Leave them alone. He never answers her. He keeps blocking her. Eventually gets to the point where she literally is texting him through her friend's phone. She like sent him a song that like reminded her of him. I'm just like, what? You have a boyfriend. I remember my friend showing me like a DM where she was like, my mom saw you driving today. I was thinking of you. Like, Like, what are you doing? Anyway, it gets to the point where she literally texts him through her friend's phone and is kind of like blackmailing him to talk to her in a way. I'm not gonna say why, you know, those are her reasons. That's not for me to talk about on the internet. And my best friend is hanging out with her boyfriend, so, you know, she stands on business and is like, look, if you need to talk to him, like, I'll be right here on the phone with him, but you can call if you need. So the girl's like, never mind. So it's just kind of at a point where, you know, she has a boyfriend, she shouldn't be texting her ex, so this is where I come in. I'm very good at confrontation. I'm also very good with my words. So me and my best friend sit down and we type a long letter for her that's very nice and direct. It wasn't mean whatsoever. The worst part was the end where we were just like, look, if you need help from your ex, we're gonna have to screenshot these texts and send them to your boyfriend because what is going on? She reads the text, but she doesn't answer it. And of course we go to school that week and hear that my best friend apparently sent her some mean text. Obviously no one believed this because, you know, my best friend at the time is so problematic. Literally, no one batted an eye when she said something. No, it goes mute for a while, and then we're at the point where my best friend's boyfriend needs his clothes back from this girl. So my friend texts her the first time and asks, and she's just like, well, why doesn't my ex pick it up? Then my best friend fought back and said he doesn't want to waste the gas. So she pulls the I'm not home right now, which is fine. So my best friend texts again and asks for the clothes again and just saying that she'll swing by to grab them if you leave them on the front porch. Swings by, no one's there. She doesn't get out of her car. There was really no response, so she just kind of went on with her life. And the girl then said she gave away all of his stuff, which didn't make sense for reasons, but I don't want to get the story wrong, so we're just gonna continue. Anyway, this girl's mom ends up texting the girl's ex's, my best friend's boyfriend, and the whole thing is kind of complicated, basically saying that my best friend and her boyfriend's little sister were like harassing this girl. Just everyone knows that that's not true. This girl's mom also called my best friend a horse. Like, what? Sorry, but if you're over the age of 30 and you need to talk crap about high school girls, what are you doing? Her mom has literally made so many girls feel bad about themselves, like almost bullied out of friend groups. Like, I know this is a fact for sure because I have witnessed it. But regardless of the fact, this whole thing just goes on for way too long, and I'm like walking in the hallway behind her and she just doesn't care about who's around her, I guess, because I just hear her talking about this whole scenario completely wrong. Like, she's telling the story. Oh, I messed up on those. Telling the story so wrong and calling my best friend a fan. My best friend doesn't even say this girl's name, let alone act like a fan. And I made a story time about that whole kind of interaction as well, but I've been very careful about the story times that I share because I did it once to this other girl. Actually, that girl might top craziest chick. I don't even know. I'm not gonna say that because that's mean, but I did do like a story time about homecoming drama, and she made it seem like I was bullying her because I was calling out all the bullying I went through being her friend. Like, what? That'll be another story time. I just don't understand. I'm trying to do these as graceful as possible because, you know, like, I'm not a mean person. I don't like to talk bad about people, but I'm not afraid to spill the truth. And like, right out of high school, no one probably knows who I'm talking about, but basically this whole encounter with this girl lasted like a year and a half, I swear. It's like she forgot me and my best friend at the time literally like lived through each other. Like, everything I knew, she knew. Like, it was like our lives were one, you know? So pretty much the craziest part of all that was just the fact that she still had a boyfriend. It's one thing if you're still hung up on your ex and like you miss him and are trying to ruin someone's relationship, but you have a boyfriend. And there's been other weird allegations with that relationship, but that's not for me to talk on.
I'm the wrong for calling out my friend for being a compulsive liar and a psycho. Let me set the scene. I had actually made a new friend, and I wish I didn't. I had met this friend through friends. We got on really, really well. Like, everything that I liked, she also liked. And we're literally the same person. With the first couple of interactions, I just thought, oh my God, like, this girl is so cool. She's literally me. We're really, really gonna hit it off. And then I started to spend more time with her and started to realise that things were getting a little bit weird. Oh, it makes me cringe thinking about it. Started to notice things on like our third interaction. Began with an absolute corker, and I complimented her jumper. I just said, oh my God, I love your jumper. And she said, yeah, it's Balenciaga. I said, is it real? And she was like, yeah. No, it fucking wasn't. I knew it wasn't. I knew it was. You could tell the material, the logo, it wasn't even spelling Balenciaga. Even started off with like a, oh, that's awkward. I'll forget it though. Do you know what I mean? I just brushed it past me and thought, oh, I don't actually care. I should have known. I should have known this was the start of something bad. I was like, fucking hell, what am I gonna do? It didn't stop at the hoodie. It carried on with bags, shoes, showing me all these pictures of these designer things that she had got, and I just thought, I just don't believe you at this point, but fairs. And I was like, oh yeah, I really like those. No, I don't. Felt like she was trying too hard to impress me, or I don't know, I was getting just a weird vibe. Then turns on to the topic of cars. She was the designated driver because I don't drive. I'm a passenger princess. She was telling me what new car she was getting, rangy, and all of this fancy stuff. And I was like, oh my god, sick. I was like, when you get in your car? She was like, next week. Next week rolled around, she did not have that Range Rover. And I was like, when you get in your car? I just wasn't able to get it. There was something wrong with the car, so I just couldn't get it. I know you're lying. I know you're fucking lying. She was like, I've just got so much money to spend and now I don't know what to do with it. What are you talking about? You had so much money, then why didn't you just buy one up front? I'm so confused. I can assure you, if she was sitting on the amount of money that she told me that she had, we would not be sat in sunny Ipswich. There's no way. Like, I've just spent so much money, like 60k on like clothes and shoes and bags. She's like, I've got a shopping addiction. 23, babe, you haven't spent that much money. Bearing in mind, we're still on our third interaction. That's what's worrying to me. So let me move on to our fourth interaction. This is where stuff gets a little bit more weirder for me because it's more personal, should I say. It was like she was trying to copy everything that I'd done, and I'll explain why. At this moment in time, we are driving to mine because she had asked if she could stay at my house, and I was like, yeah, sure, girl. Like, we're friends now, of course you can. We're driving to mine at this point. She turned around to me and she was like, oh, do you want to put on a song? Like, what type of music do you like? I was just like, no, it's fine, because I've got a bit of an acquired music taste that isn't to everyone's liking. I said, so you keep on, you put on whatever songs you want. She was like, no, what songs do you listen to? And I just said, I like heavy metal. And I was just like, well, I really like Bring Me the Horizon, so you can just put on any of that. Like, I don't mind. And she was like, oh my god, I love them. Love them. Do you? Are you sure? At this point, I'm shocked. I finally found someone that likes the same music as me. I thought, this is bloody beautiful. So I was just like, what's your favourite song? I need to know. This is how you know someone is lying. She turns around and she says, I love all of them. You're lying straight through your teeth. I fucking lie. Pointless fucking behaviour. Okay, I'm not going to call you out just yet, but if you say so. Please just bear in mind that at this point, we are listening to Drake. And you're telling me you listen to the music I listen to? Absolutely fucking not, mate. But at this point, I'm kind of gauging that she's lying about a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to let it slide until we get back to mine, which is where the problems really start arising. We're just chilling on the sofa watching a film. And she's like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And I'm just like, yeah, why? Do you know them? She was like, yeah, I know them, but I don't like them. I was like, what? Okay, why are we having this conversation then? She was like, yeah, they've told me that they really don't like you. Why do you need to share this information? But yeah, no, they really don't like you, and I just thought it was like best to let you know. Okay. We sat on different ends of the sofa, so I'm obviously messaging so-and-so to check what they've said, because I'm not happy because I'm friends with so-and-so. Message saying, look, have you said this? Because I'm with my friend that you know, and she has said that you said you don't like me. Why? They got back to me and said, we never said that. We do like you, so I don't know where this information has come from. Oh great, I've got this person in my house that keeps lying to me. Just thought, I'm not going to bring it up yet because wrong timing, it could get really awkward, so I'll leave it be for now, but I'll bring it up later on. We finished the film and I'm getting ready for bed. I'm just taking off my makeup, brushing my teeth. I walk into my room, she's trying on all of my clothes. Surely not. I was like, what are you doing? She was like, oh, I just love all of your clothes, so I've decided to try them all on. But ask first. She was like, I'm just testing out which clothes I like, and then I'm going to buy the same ones. Let's not do that. Maybe just ask to borrow my clothes from time to time if we're going to be friends. I wouldn't actively go out of my way to go through my friends' clothes, try them on, to then buy myself. That's weird to me. Gets her phone out and starts taking photos of all the items that she likes. It's so uncomfortable. I was like, you don't have to be the same as me. We can be different people and still get on. What I said is that if you like my clothes, you could have just said, and I could have told you where they were from. But because this happened, I then messaged my friends, the ones that I spoke to earlier that she had obviously made the lie up about, told them what had been happening. I said, look, she's tried on all of my clothes. She's taking pictures of the ones that she likes and she's ordering them. Does she normally do this? He said, this is really fucking weird. She told us that she doesn't like you. I'm like, what? Oh my God. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is this girl in my house? Why is she pretending to be my friend this whole time? Pretend that she likes all the same stuff as me. And now we're here. Go to bed. Everything's fine. The next day, bearing in mind I've been with this girl for what, 24 hours at this point? It just gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. So we wake up the next day and we were like, oh, should we just go get a Starbucks? While we're talking, she's starting to do accents. I am an avid lover of doing an accent. And if you can't do them right, don't do them at all. She sat there next to me, copying everything that I'm saying in an accent. 1 minute, it's a terrible American accent. And the next, she's trying to be from up north. Stop that. Saying like little sayings, like, what the fuck? And she's saying them as well. Why copying me for? First it's the music, then the clothes, now the accent. What the hell is gonna be next? I'll fucking tell you. We're at the drive-thru and we order our coffees. And she's like, oh my God, you need to try the blueberry muffin. It's so good. I was just like, no, I'm all right. I don't actually like blueberry muffins, so I won't be trying that. She was like, no, I don't actually like blueberry muffins either. You clearly do, but because I don't, you feel the need to say that you don't. Why the fuck? Are you copying me? Are you gonna become me? I just said you clearly do like them because you just told me to try it and now you're saying that you don't. And she was like, oh, I got the name wrong. And I don't know what's running through my mind, but I let it slide. I think I just felt sorry for her. I just felt bad if I called her out. So we're on our way back to mine. She was telling me how much she loved my tattoos. I was just like, oh, thank you. Like, yeah, I love them too. I think they look sick. I was like, yeah, I think I want the kind of vibe that you've got. There's a line that doesn't get crossed, and that is getting the same stuff on your body that I have. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm all here for inspiration. Take inspiration off mine, but don't copy them for exactly what they are because that's just weird. So we get back to mine. You would never guess. You would never guess what she does. She called the tattoo shop. She called the tattoo shop and booked in the same tattoo as me. I wish I was lying. I wish I was lying. It is at this point where I am starting to lose my rag a bit, so I had to lie. I had to get her out of my house. I said, I'm so sorry, but I completely forgot I had planned with my family today. I have to see you another day type of thing, just because I was so livid. Like, have your own style, have your own personality. At this point, I don't actually know who she is because I'm just getting given a persona that is exactly like me. I don't want another version of me. I can barely deal with myself. So she leaves. And that's when I messaged her. I couldn't confront her in person. I just couldn't do it. So I messaged her. I just messaged her and I said, look, I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable with everything at the moment. I said, I appreciate if you want similar things to me. I said, but can we not copy everything that I do? I listed off everything obviously that I found uncomfortable and just said, look, this isn't right. Just said like the lying and the copying I'm just not comfortable with. Like, I know you've lied about the clothes, the bag, the shoes, how much money you have, the car, the copying with the music, the accents, the things that I do, my clothes. I find all of it uncomfortable. So if we could just stop that, it would be great. I just said, you seem like a really nice girl, but we don't need to be the exact same people. I said that I know what you said to the other girls about me. You said that you didn't like me. And I want to know why. Never guess what this little fucking bastard said. I said, I just wanted to understand why people like you. Ouch! That's me. Maybe because I'm just a nice person. I don't know. I'm just myself. What do you mean you wonder why people like me? That's fucking rude, mate. I can tell you for a fact now, that bitch got blocked. She got blocked because I was fucking fuming.
My parents are gonna let my little sister's boyfriend propose at my wedding. For context, you have not seen clear favoritism until you've seen the way that my parents treat my little sister. She's the golden child. She can do no wrong, and she's always gotten everything she wanted. Me, no, literally nothing. I was a side character, fully a side character in my family. She actually got everything she wanted. Like, for instance, I walked to school, and on her 15th birthday, she got a new car. Not even her 16th birthday. Who gets a car on their 15th birthday? And I was still walking to school. I still did not have a car. And this did go to her head. She was a brat. Like, was she gonna drive me to school? We went to the same school. Wouldn't drive me. Literally would not drive me in her car. So I would walk and she would drive in the new car my parents got for her. And I don't really know why it was, honestly. Like, I was a really good kid. I got really good grades, never got into any trouble. She was so mean. High school mean girl. Terrible. Honestly, like, I mean, yeah, I was resentful. I was jealous. I feel like anybody would be. But as we've gotten older, I mean, I wouldn't say we're best friends. It's not like I love my sister more than anyone in the world. Like, we tolerate each other and we've gotten closer as we've gotten older. She's gotten nicer. And honestly, I think her boyfriend is really good for her. Neither my fiance or I had the funds for a huge wedding, but his grandparents are literally the sweetest humans on earth and offered that we could have it at their lake house, which is gorgeous. And it's pretty small, so we're just gonna have 30 people, and I was honestly so excited. But when I told my parents, they were so pissed off. They said that they had so many people they needed to invite. I swear at this point, my guest list is like 3/4 people, I don't know. But they pushed that they would pay for it because it needed to be a bigger venue. And we said no for months, but finally gave in. I mean, like, they were relentless about it. So last week, my mom invites me over, and it's her, my dad, and my sister's boyfriend. And she asks me what I would think about having my sister's boyfriend propose at my wedding and turn it into a joint wedding engagement party. Obviously, I say no. I told them that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. This day is supposed to be about me, and we're not going to make it into a joint engagement party. And my mom starts screaming at me. She's calling me ungrateful, telling me that I am jealous and I can't just share one day with my sister. Sure, what do you mean share one day? My wedding day? No, I'm not going to share my wedding day. And honestly, at this point, everything started clicking because it made no sense to me why they were even offering to pay for my wedding. But really, all along, my wedding was just a disguise to be a party for my little sister. So I storm out. I was not putting up with that anymore. The conversation was going nowhere. And that night, both my mom and my sister's boyfriend were blowing up my phone saying, you better not tell her about this. Like, you better not ruin the surprise. And my mom said that she doesn't care that I said no because it's not even my wedding. It's her wedding because she's paying for it. It's like, oh, Mom, your wedding? Didn't know I was getting a new stepdad. Like, congrats. After crying to my fiance all night about it, I decided to just swallow my pride and call my mom and literally beg her not to do this. I was straight up on the phone sobbing, saying, please don't do this to me. I just really want my wedding day to be about me. Please, like, I'll help you plan an amazing engagement party for her. It'll literally be better than my wedding. Just please don't do this. And all she kept saying was that I am being spoiled, I'm being a brat, and this could be an amazing family event, and I'm just ruining it because of how selfish I am. She also told me that if I tell my sister anything about this, she will cancel the wedding portion of the day and just make it my sister's engagement party. So we really see the real reason that she's paying for my wedding. After I was the biggest crybaby to my fiance for the remainder of the night, rightfully so though, rightfully so, we both decided that we would go and ask his grandparents if we could use their lake house again, which honestly we should have just stuck to from the beginning. Honestly, at this point, we're fine just eloping. Anything to avoid whatever the mess that is happening right now. And some of you might say that I'm being dramatic about this, but I'm sorry. I spent my entire childhood, honestly my entire life, just being a background character in my sister's life. My wedding is about me. It's going to be about me, and I'm not going to get bullied into it being any different. So my family can find out I'm married when I post the photos on social media. And sis, I hope you enjoy my wedding with all the decorations that I picked out and all of the time I spent planning it. I hope it's the most magical day of your life.
This is why you need to be careful with who you invite into your home. So this happened about a year ago. My man invited over his cousin and his cousin's girlfriend over for drinks. On the way here, the cousin calls my man and he's like, hey, my girlfriend brought her friend Fiona with her. My man was like, yeah, that's fine. My wife's really friendly. Like, go ahead and bring her. And so they come over, we have dinner, everything's good, everything's normal. The guys ended up going into the garage and hanging out there and leaving us girls in the living room. I eventually put my kid up to bed. It was past midnight and he just kept waking up and waking up. And once it was like 2 in the morning, I figured that they would be leaving soon. So I told him, you know what, he keeps waking up, so I'm gonna go and stay in bed with him because he's like obviously uncomfortable. He obviously needs me. After I want to say like 15 minutes, the boys decided to come back inside. So now inside the living room was my man, Fiona, and the other couple. I honestly did not like that dynamic at all. Like, it did make me uncomfortable. I didn't go back downstairs. Like, I just let them be, but I could hear everything that was going on downstairs. And all of a sudden, Fiona, that was all quiet and shy, was all ambientada. She was all friendly and like trying to make conversation with my man and asking my man for drinks. I'm upstairs hearing this and I'm like, girl, I was side-eyeing from up here, but at the end of the day, it's up to my man to like put those boundaries. So I didn't really care, but I had it noted in my head like, okay, this girl is weird. So Fiona is the first one out the door. She's standing like right outside of the door and I'm thinking, oh, she's just waiting for her friend, and then walks out the friend and her man. So I'm thinking, okay, once they line up together, they're gonna start walking out together. But no, she stays there waiting and her friend and the man just keep on walking. And my man comes a little bit after. And then once my man comes out, that's when she starts walking like right next to him. She was waiting for him the whole time so that they could walk out together. Watching this, guys, while I'm upstairs with my baby, and I'm like, no way, like no way she just waited for my man to walk out together. Didn't even notice that she did that because he walks away from her and he starts hitting his pen and like talking to his cousin. So he's like not even paying attention to her. So she's like waiting for him to finish smoking again, and my man's like over here and he just like walks past her. I know she must have felt so dumb because afterwards she just like walked to the car all awkward and weird. There's so many Fionas in this world that they don't care about your relationship. They don't care about disrespecting you, even if you're a few feet away.
3 years ago, I almost pulled over on the side of the road for a murderer. I did a story time when this all happened, but there's an important lesson to be learned, so I'm gonna say it again. I was either a sophomore or junior in high school, and I was driving home from my friend Sophie's house at like 11 in the morning after sleeping over there. I was driving straight on this road, and I was on the right side, as one should be, and there was a car in the ditch, also on the right side, but facing me. I kept driving like another 40 yards, and then there was another car in the ditch facing me on the right side of the road. I was just like, what the heck, that's so weird, because they were definitely too far apart to have collided, and they looked like separate from each other. I kept driving a little bit, but at a much slower pace, and I saw some guy, like older man, probably like 60s or something, waving his hands, like looked like he was trying to get help, like waving people down, and I was like, oh my goodness, should I stop? I kept driving and I was like, you know, I'm a 16-year-old girl. I really can't help. Maybe I can call 911. But if I get out and help, there's really nothing I can do specifically to help the situation. But then I was home like 5 to 10 minutes later and I just went on with my day. I told my parents, like I called them the rest of the ride home and told them what happened, so they knew what happened. But then like 2 hours later, my mom had found out that the news was reporting on it. Apparently some crazy man was intentionally driving his car on the opposite side of the road, running into cars, trying to intentionally crash into them and kill them. That's why there were so many cars on the opposite side of the road facing the wrong way. Then my mom got a text from her friend who lives in a neighborhood really close to where this all happened, and it's a video of the interaction between the police and the guy who was responsible for trying to crash into these people. Turns out the guy in the video was the guy waving me down, trying to look like he was asking for help. Apparently he was trying to get more people to stop so he could hurt people, and he was like swinging this big piece of wood at people, and then in the video he's swinging it at the police officer. I don't believe anybody died because the people whose cars I saw on the opposite side of the road were on that side of the road because they dodged him, I guess. And then once they realized he was crazy, they like ran away and the cops came. It was so scary though, because in the video, the police officer was like telling him to stop swinging, and he just keeps walking towards the officer, swinging the piece of wood, walking towards him, looking like a zombie. He's like waddling towards him. I don't know what I can say on TikTok, but the police officer puts his pew pew up and is like yelling at him to stop, and the guy's not stopping, and he's walking closer and closer, starts swinging the wood at him. And so then to try and get him to like stop, the police officer like shoots at like his legs, like body parts, to get him to like stop moving towards him but not kill him. And it was the most bizarre thing. He's like shooting at his limbs and his legs, and the guy is like not stopping. He's like moving towards him like a zombie.
It was like he couldn't even feel the shot. And he was like getting more aggressive and swinging the piece of wood at the officer, and the officer ended up shooting him. He finally like fell to the floor. Watching the video was the weirdest experience ever because I'd never seen something like that, like not on TV, like actually in real life, having seen that man in person before. So while you might feel guilty not stopping in a situation like that, this is your sign not to. Every time I drive by the intersection where it happened, I think about it. Never stop. Just call 911. Don't be the one to stop.